Okay, so you landed that new job.
Congrats.
Right. But while you're popping champagne and celebrating,
Yeah.
remember those first 90 days?
Oh, yeah.
They're crucial.
Absolutely.
It's your chance to really make a killer first impression
For sure.
and set yourself up for success long term.
Totally.
It's like the presidential first 100 days,
Yeah.
but for your career.
Exactly.
And that's where Michael Watkins' book, The First 90 Days, comes in.
Yes.
That's what we're diving into today,
Love it.
to give you the ultimate roadmap for not just surviving,
Right.
but absolutely crushing it
Crushing it.
in those early months.
So important.
Now, Watkins,
Yeah.
he says before you even step foot in the office,
Okay.
you got to hit pause and do something that I think a lot of us forget about,
What's that?
preparing mentally.
Oh, that's so key.
It is.
Yeah.
Because we're so busy tying up loose ends at our old job.
Absolutely.
We forget to mentally disconnect.
Right. It's that clean break.
Yes.
You need that mental break point.
Yeah. And even if you're still wrapping things up at your previous job,
Yeah.
you've got to create that space for a fresh start.
You really do.
Okay, so mental break point checked.
Okay.
What else can you do before day one?
Self-assessment.
Okay.
Big one.
All right.
You really got to take stock of where you're at. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses going into this? Because what made you a superstar in your last role might not be what you need to succeed here.
It's so true.
Yeah.
You could be amazing in spreadsheets,
Right.
but if this new role needs you to rally a team or present these big ideas,
Totally.
that might not be the thing that gets you to the corner office this time.
You got it. And Watkins actually uses this great analogy in the book.
Oh,
He
yeah.
compares it to exercising only one arm. You might be super strong on one side,
Okay.
but you're going to be totally unbalanced.
Yeah.
And it's the same with your skill set.
It's so true. And this is where I think a lot of people get tripped up.
Yeah.
You get comfortable. You rely on those skills that you know you're good at.
Comfortable. Yeah.
And it's easy to forget that different roles need you to use different muscles.
For sure.
It can be kind of intimidating to think about,
Oh, absolutely.
especially in a new environment.
Yeah, it's natural to feel that way. And, Watkins, he gets it.
Okay.
He reassures us everyone feels those learning curves. It's totally normal.
Okay, good.
But he says the key here is to relearn how to learn.
Relearn how to learn.
Yes.
I like that.
Right.
So it's not just cramming new information.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's about being strategic with how you approach it.
Okay.
Yes, you're going to need to get up to speed on the technical side,
Right.
but you need to understand the company culture, figure out the leadership dynamics,
Oh, boy.
and, maybe even brush up on a little office politics.
All right. Things are getting juicy now.
Yeah.
So how do you suggest people approach this relearning process?
Okay.
Especially those first few weeks when it's just like, whoa.
It can be overwhelming for sure.
It is.
Watkins recommends actively building a new network,
Yeah.
specifically for this role.
So not just your old contacts.
Right, put away that old Rolodex.
I love it.
This is about finding people who can give you the inside scoop,
Okay.
who can offer support, be your champions in this new world.
Like your A-team for navigating this new company.
Exactly, your strategic advisors, your
Mhm.
information gurus. You got to assemble them.
I love it. Speaking of new worlds,
Yeah.
let's talk about that feeling when you start a new job
Okay.
and it's just information overload.
Oh, yeah.
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
Totally.
You're bombarded with names, processes, inside jokes that you don't get yet.
You're like, I don't even know where to start.
Right.
And that's why Watkins stresses that having a strategic learning plan is so important.
Okay, learning plan.
Yeah, think of it like your roadmap for navigating all this new information.
Oh, I like that roadmap.
Right.
Because if I'm just trying to take it all in at once,
Yeah.
I am going to explode.
You'll be so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And this is actually where a lot of us stumble.
Okay.
Watkins says we get so focused on the technical stuff.
Okay.
Learning the new software.
Right, the programs, the processes.
Exactly. And we forget about the bigger picture.
Oh, like I've mastered the company's CRM system,
Yeah.
but I have no idea who actually makes the decisions around here.
It's like trying to bake a cake without knowing how to use the oven.
Okay.
You need that broader context, right?
Yes.
Understanding the culture, the unwritten rules, even the company history.
Okay, so how do you suggest people actually tackle this?
Yeah.
This learning plan?
So Watkins says you got to ask strategic questions.
Okay.
Right from the start.
Like what?
Like, how did we get here?
Okay.
Understanding the company's past, its wins, its losses.
Right, because those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Exactly.
And I don't want to repeat those mistakes.
No one does. You want to build on those successes.
Okay, so you're settling in, you're starting to understand things.
Yeah.
And I think that urge to jump in and like make your mark really kicks in.
Oh, the action imperative.
Yes.
Watkins talks about that.
He does.
That urge to take action before you've really grasped the situation.
Oh, I've been there.
Tell me about it.
I once redesigned an entire project management system
Oh, no.
because I thought I had a better way.
Oh.
But it turns out the old system was in place
Yeah.
for very specific reasons that I had not bothered to uncover.
It happens to the best of us.
Okay.
But Watkins says listening and observing in those early days,
Okay.
that's how you gain credibility.
More so than rushing in with solutions.
Exactly. You're not a superhero.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, so park the cape.
Yes. Focus on understanding the needs and challenges of your team.
Okay, how do I do that?
Watkins has this great tactic.
Okay.
He says, ask all of your direct reports the same 5 questions.
Ooh, same 5 questions.
Yes.
Okay, like a little litmus test.
Exactly. To gauge morale, priorities, potential roadblocks.
I like it. What kind of questions are we talking here?
Open-ended questions that get people thinking.
Okay.
What are the biggest challenges facing the team right now?
Okay.
Or, if you could wave a magic wand and change one thing about our workflow, what would it be?
I love that.
Right.
Because you're not just coming in like, I'm the boss, I have all the answers.
Exactly. You're showing you value their insights.
Okay, so we're gathering information, building relationships. We're starting to get a feel for the culture.
Yes.
Now, what about those early wins?
Yes.
How do you actually make an impact in those first 90 days?
Well, before we jump into early wins, Watkins makes a really important point.
Okay.
He says, not all new roles are created equal.
That's true.
Right.
Taking over a struggling department.
Very different.
Very different from like stepping into a well-oiled machine.
Completely different ball game.
Right.
And so your approach those first few months,
Uh-huh.
it should depend on the situation you're walking into.
Okay, so what are some of those situations?
So Watkins, he has this framework that he calls the STARS model.
The STARS model? Okay, tell me more.
So it stands for startup,
Okay.
turnaround, realignment, and sustaining success.
Okay, so 4 different scenarios.
4 different situations, and each one needs a different approach, different skills, even a different mindset.
So you're saying you wouldn't wear a swimsuit to a snowstorm.
Exactly.
You need to think about what is the situation I'm walking into.
Yes. What gear do you need
Okay.
for the terrain that you're going to be navigating?
So like leading a turnaround,
Very different from
sustaining success.
completely different. You might need to be more directive in a turnaround,
Okay,
more collaborative when you're sustaining success.
got it.
It's about adapting your style to the situation.
And this is where understanding the company history is so important.
Absolutely.
Because we talked about learning from the past
Right.
and not repeating those mistakes.
Yes, and Watkins, he's a big believer in this.
He is.
Understanding the context, the history, the why behind the current state of affairs.
It's like detective work.
It is. It's like you're piecing together a puzzle. Looking for those patterns, those recurring themes that can help you make sense of everything.
And avoid those pitfalls.
Exactly. And that historical awareness,
Yes.
it's particularly crucial when it comes to securing those early wins.
So we're piecing together the puzzle, we're understanding the history,
Yeah.
and now we're ready to talk early wins.
This is where Watkins gets really tactical.
Okay.
He says early wins are crucial for
Right.
building momentum, establishing credibility,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
he cautions against trying to boil the ocean.
Oh, I've been there.
Right.
You want to do it all.
You want to impress everybody.
Yes. Show your value by like taking on a million things.
And that is a recipe for burnout.
Yes.
Watkins says focus
Okay.
on a few
Okay.
impactful wins
Got it.
that align with your boss's priorities.
Got
And
it.
this is key.
Okay.
Make sure your methods
Yeah.
align with the company culture.
It's not just what you achieve.
Exactly
It's
that.
how you achieve it.
Right.
I'm thinking of this one colleague
Oh, yeah.
who spearheaded this amazing product launch.
Okay.
It exceeded all expectations.
Wow.
But he basically steamrolled everyone to do it. He
Oh.
ignored all the company protocols.
What happened?
And let's just say
Yeah.
he didn't last long.
Yeah. You can win the battle, but lose the war.
Exactly.
Right.
You got to play the long game.
It's about building that trust,
Right.
demonstrating that you get it.
Okay.
You understand the goals and the values.
And so much of this is about relationships,
It is.
which leads us to this other topic that Watkins talks about.
Yes. Managing up.
Managing up, it's so important.
Yes. It's like the thing that nobody really talks about.
People kind of tiptoe around it.
They do?
But Watkins, he's like, let's just address this.
I know. It's real.
Okay, so we forget
We
about...
get so caught up in proving ourselves to our team,
Yes.
getting those to-dos done,
Yes.
that we forget
Of the boss.
the most important relationship
Yes, the boss.
at work, your boss.
And Watkins has a framework for this, too.
He does.
Does he not have a framework for everything?
I think he does.
Okay, lay it on me.
It's the 5 conversations.
Of 5
The
conversations.
managing your boss.
Okay, I'm ready.
Conversation number 1,
Okay.
aligning on the situation.
Okay, what does that mean?
You need to understand how your boss sees the business.
Okay,
Where are the challenges?
right.
What are the opportunities?
Make sure you're seeing the same things.
Yes, you're on the same page.
Got it.
Number 2,
Okay,
the expectations conversation.
this is a big one.
It is, what does your boss need from you?
Yes,
Short-term and long-term.
because sometimes you think you know.
Right. Those unspoken expectations.
Yes, you think you're killing it,
Right, and you're not.
and then you're blindsided.
Exactly. This solves for that.
It does. Okay, number 3,
Okay.
style.
Style.
How do you both prefer to work, communicate, make decisions?
Oh, this is huge.
Right.
Like, I'm a very detailed email person.
If my boss just wants like a Post-it note,
Oh, yeah, that's not going to work.
we need to get on the same page.
Exactly. You got to figure that out early.
Okay.
All right, number 4,
Get me.
resources.
Resources.
Okay. What do you
Uh-huh.
need from your boss to be successful?
People.
Maybe budget personnel,
Moral support.
maybe even just like air cover
Okay.
to navigate the organization.
So don't be afraid to ask.
This is where you advocate for yourself.
I love it. Okay, that's 4.
And number 5,
Okay, the last one.
this is the personal development conversation.
Okay.
This one often gets overlooked.
Right, because we're so busy like doing the job.
Yes, but it's so important for you
Aye.
long term.
What is it?
It's where you talk about your career goals,
Okay.
your aspirations,
Okay.
and how can your boss help you get there.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Because you're being proactive about your own career.
Exactly.
And
You're not
I-
waiting for things to happen.
You love it.
You're driving.
And all of these conversations, they work best
Yes.
when they're part of a structured plan.
Exactly, a 90-day plan.
Yeah, what Watkins keeps coming back to.
Watkins is all about that 90-day plan.
It's like your roadmap. It holds you accountable.
Your guide.
Your North Star.
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
it's a living document though, right?
It should be, because you're going to learn things.
And things change.
Exactly, and you adapt as you go.
But what are we saying here?
Watkins' approach,
Yeah.
it's not a one-size-fits-all.
Well,
It's a framework
yes.
for thinking strategically, planning effectively,
Be intentional.
and adapting.
This has been amazing.
It's been fun.
Yes, we've covered so much.
We have from mental prep to self-assessment,
Strategic learning.
managing up.
Early wins.
So much good stuff.
And it all comes back to being intentional. You can't just wing it those first 90 days.
You can't wing it. You need a plan. You need a strategy.
You got to be ready to learn as you go. So to everyone out there starting a new job, remember, those first 90 days, they're your chance to really make an impact.
That's your moment to shine.
So take Watkins' wisdom, create your own 90-day plan, and get ready to crush it.
Crush it.
This is The Deep Dive, signing off for now.